Dallas Cheer would like to welcome you to
Falcon Football Weekly.
Center snapping. Here we go. Shine drill. Ready, set.
I'm John Piper, and each and every week all season I've had the pleasure of talking Falcon football with head coach Michael Young. The Falcons wrapped up the season against Frisco Lebanon Trail with a victory, 37-31, an exciting victory. And now to break it down, none other than Coach Young. Welcome to the broadcast.
Good evening. Glad to be here.
Well, you know, we were talking earlier, all good things must come to an end. You fought hard all season, but and I know you set your sights on the postseason, but you won't be playing in the tournament this year. We talked all year about the fight this team, and it showed against Lebanon Trail with the last-second score, I believe within the last 10 seconds, 31-yard pass from Trevor Moon to Brandon Ingle to win the season finale. Must be a nice feeling to end it that way, Coach.
Yeah, we had a really good last 4 weeks of the season. 2 wins, 2 close losses to playoff teams Lovejoy and Braswell. I think we've been playing as good as anybody in the district the last 4 weeks or so. I told the kids after the game, I think if we were able to start district play this week, I think we'd be a playoff team in my mind, no doubt. So, we had a lot of inexperienced guys, a young team, but they've got better each week, and we've started really playing some good football in the end, and it'll be a good carryover into our off season.
Well, the good news is that they responded well each and every week to the coaching, things y'all were seeing in the film room, and that's all you want out of a high school athlete is constant, never-ending improvement, and it looks like you got that, Coach. And, hey, speaking of constant improvement, Trevor Moon ended the night 14 of 19, 198 yards with a score. Wow, perhaps the best performance of the season for Trevor Moon.
Yeah, it was exciting to see. That's something we need to build on. We really think we found some things running the ball with this group we have coming back. We're going to be able to do that. I think the key for us is going to be to win games is, finding some big plays in the passing game. But, we need to find some more of those easy scores. We found some of those last Friday night. And so that's going to be something to build on and get better at during the offseason.
Kobe Minor and IK had a solid night running the ball, both of them close to 100 yards rushing. Now, Coach, 453 yards of total offense. Like you said, man, things really started opening up. Well, great way to finish on a positive note with that offensive performance. Yeah,
the last 3 weeks we've averaged well over 300, around 350 a game or so, and scored points. So it's definitely going in the right direction. We knew, offensively was going to be a struggle at the beginning of the year with all the new faces, and they kept working hard. The coaches worked hard, and we've gotten better each week, and it's going to be something we know we can build on, and I think we're going to be a pretty good offensive team by the time we start next year.
Well, the Falcons finished the season 3-7. However, several of the losses could have gone the Falcons' way with a couple breaks. We talk about that each week. The record is not indicative of the effort, and the future is definitely bright for the Falcons. What's your assessment of the season? Is it too early to really break things down as a staff, or do you have a pretty good picture of where the future's at?
Well, we have a pretty good future, pretty good look at it so far. There'll be some personnel things that we have to decide here in the next couple months to kind of see where we need to put people. We have some younger guys trying to fit in there. But, we've met and we've talked. We lost to Reedy by 6. Princeton, we were winning that game in the fourth quarter. We lost by 2 to Lovejoy. We lost a close game to Braswell. So it's not like we were far off for being a 6-7 win team and in the playoffs. We were close. And we're going to have a lot of people back next year, 4 or 5, 6 starters on each side of the ball, which is, like this year we went into with 1 or 2 on each side of the ball. So we've got some pieces to work with, and we think we're going to be a good football team next year. Realignment's going to be a big deal in February. So that's always going to be, a big key of where we go and what district we're in. And
yeah, that always makes it interesting for sure.
Worse. Yeah, it'll be
realignment.
Make an interesting off season.
Well, Coach, as a staff, I know, hey, it's good to take a mental break, get some family time through the holidays, then back to work with the off-season lifts and everything. You mentioned before we got started Your off season's already started. Wow. I was going to ask you, hey, is it odd to have a little extra time back? But it looks like there may not be a whole lot of extra time as you roll into off season. Some of your other multi-sport athletes are already in either basketball or moving into some baseball off season, things like that. Talk a little bit about what your schedule, how it changes up during the off season.
Well, we've gotten we took a couple days, to kind of get things cleaned up, organized. And we've gone at it here now a few hard days. We'll finish hard tomorrow working out. We're going home early, right now as soon as school's out about 4 o'clock. I told the kids we're not going to have the weight room and field open this week. We wanted the coaches to be able to go home at 4 o'clock and get some time with their families, but we'll keep the open field and open weight room after school next week. We're going to do testing next week to kind of get our kids evaluated where they are strength-wise and get them in our groups. But we plan on hitting it hard and getting a good base before we leave on the Christmas break.
Well, we talk about it often. It's that off season, what really determines the season. So, man, it's exciting to hear that y'all are getting to work early and often. And, we were talking also no real major injuries to report. I know you had some lingering injuries early in the season, but everybody's healthy. You've been excited also about the sub-varsity program, your freshmen and your JV team, some of the players, like you mentioned, coming back next season. I don't want to get ahead, but, the fans want to know maybe what the depth chart looks like for 2020. Can you give a little glimpse into what the Falcon football community might see as we suit up in 2020?
Well, we got, like I said, we have some pieces back. We got to find, a couple offensive linemen. I think defensive line is going to be the biggest thing. Obviously, the spots to fill. But if we can find some guys to play defensive line, we got almost all of our linebackers back, about half our secondary. We have some young, skilled kids that we think are going to be able to help us offensively, some younger ones. So we haven't done that yet. Usually we start doing the depth chart, usually about the middle of February or January, the end of January. I always like to put one early out before we go on the break, just to kind of show guys, what I'm thinking and let them start thinking about that stuff. But I think this next 2 months is really about evaluating our kids, watching them work out strength-wise, size-wise, and start putting those pieces together. It's probably the most important thing that we do, school our size. It's really important to get people in the right spot. So if you got a guy that can help you, you got to get him on the field. And that's so important, with the depth that we have. And that'll be a big part of what we do during the Christmas break and when we get back in January. Yeah,
100%. Well, Coach, I'm sure everybody had a little bounce in their step. I know that last game, especially for those seniors, it's always tough cleaning out that locker. Can you share with the Falcon community a little bit what that scene was like there in the locker room after the win?
It's a great way to end it, and a great way for Brandon to catch a touchdown to win the game. So it was exciting. The kids were excited. There was a lot of sticking around after outside and taking pictures and with family and friends that are there on senior night. So that's always the best part, I think, of senior night, is not just the weight room or locker room when we come in, but getting to take pictures and be around your family. And that's a lot more fun after a win than it is after a loss, for sure.
Yeah, always memorable, and you want to go out on top with a win. And in those pictures, I'm sure there was a lot of flash going on. Well, Coach, you mentioned the holidays. Any big plans for the young family here, Thanksgiving, Christmas? Any travel plans?
Well, we're gonna go camping for a few days at Thanksgiving, and we're actually gonna have everybody at our house for Thanksgiving this year. Since we're not in the playoffs and playing, we figured this would be a year to host it. So we have a lot of pressure on us with the food Thanksgiving, me and my wife. So it'll be a stressful Thanksgiving for sure, trying to get the menu and get everything right. I have some picky eaters that like good traditional Thanksgiving meals. So we'll have some pressure on us here in a couple of weeks.
Well, you know what, Coach? I'm going to help you out a little bit. I know you like to do a little barbecue. You may if you're like us, you like to mix it up a little bit. You have the traditional turkey, but then you mix it up and have maybe something unique. I'll stop by, and I'm going to give you our friends at Suckle Busters. They do some work with us, and I'm going to give you a Suckle Busters gift pack, and maybe not for Thanksgiving, but you can use their rubs and stuff, and then maybe spice things up there at Thanksgiving and do a little one-off, maybe a brisket, or even do an extra turkey and maybe put a little Suckle Buster's rub on it. What do you think?
That sounds good.
Yeah, and the only catch to that is I'm gonna donate it to the Young family, but I might sneak over, in the afternoon before the Cowboys game and maybe get a plate. How's that?
I will promise there will be plenty of food. That's
all right.
I'm
heard
sure
it, folks.
That, we're always worried about how much we have, and it always seems to be way too much.
Well, that's the best thing about Thanksgiving is the weekend. Eating again on Friday and Saturday, and then usually you're ready to throw everything out come Sunday. But man, great time of year. And Coach, it's been an honor and a privilege to host Falcon Football Weekly for the second season, and I look forward to keeping up with the off season, everything positive going on in the Falcon community, and look forward. Won't be long. We'll be kicking the show off again here for season 3.
Sounds good. I appreciate all that you've done for us and the Quarterback Club for hosting this, and I'm sure I'll see you out at some of the games. I don't know if I'm going to go to Geyer game this week, but I'll definitely probably go to one in the next couple of weeks, to the Denton Ryan game too. So maybe we'll run into each other at one of those. Yeah,
we've got so many friends in the football community, in the Denton County area, and I know you got a lot of coaching fraternity members, and I don't know, are any of your former players coaching in any of the other schools you mentioned?
We have some. We played we had to find a freshman B game a few weeks ago, and Castleberry, a smaller 3A 4A school, was looking for a freshman A game, and we had one of our former guys that played for us come over, and he was the head coach of that freshman team. So we actually coached against one of our old players here a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's great.
We have a few that are out there. We have several old players that are on our staff now. So that's always fun to see those guys and have those guys on our staff as well.
Well, Coach, you are going to see me probably. Maybe I won't sneak over on Thanksgiving Day, but maybe Friday after Thanksgiving. I'll text you ahead of time, but save me a plate. I want to try some of that special family young recipe that I hear so much about.
No, we'll be here.
All right, Coach. Thank you, and have a great holiday.
You too.